Welcome back. This is Diane.Boerstler, the Hypnotic Amazon copywriter, and we are going to launch right into Module 2. Just as a quick aside, please remember if you have questions about Module 1, you can ask them now or you can ask them at any time. If you want to wait to see if they make sense, that's fine. If you have any feedback, please let me know, and you can just contact me at the email in your membership area. Okay, so Module 2, the framework of an Amazon product listing, right? This should be a good overview for most of you. Some of you might just know this right off the top of your heads. Some of you might not realize that these rules exist at all. So again, same legalese as before. You can share this, and please feel free to with your legal business partners, your legal employees, any legal contractors you have, co-owners, obviously, your kids, family, significant other, but otherwise, please keep it to yourself. We work really hard on this training and want to make sure that it's only reserved for the people who are putting in the time and money and effort to make this work. So when you write an Amazon listing, you're responsible for writing a keyword optimized title. That means a title, which is the title you see at the top of the listing, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute, just in case you don't know, that has your main keywords which are the keywords that customers are searching for, right, with the highest volume. Or if you're just launching, you can use keywords that have medium volume traffic, medium, like let's say 6,000 people searching for them, but they're low competition. They have no saturation. So there are 6,000 people a month searching for your product using this specific keyword, and we use buyer keywords, not just any keyword, and I'll show you how to do that. There are 6,000 people searching for the product that provides the transformation that your product provides, but there's only like 10 people ranking for it. So you obviously want to use that specific, you always want to use that if you can. You want to use that specific keyword along with a high volume keyword, right? You're responsible for creating keyword optimized bullet points. Again, I'll show you how to do keywords, how to find keywords, the best buyer keywords that I know how to find that have proven very effective and profitable in just a few minutes in the next module. But you're going to want to, know that you have to write bullet points. And most of the time it's 5 bullet points. Some brands, especially older brands, have 7. Some clothing products have 7. Then you also need to be able to write a description, okay? And there are 2 kinds of descriptions. There's a regular HTML description, which means that you put it through a coding software, which I'll show you, which is free, so that it shows up on your listing the same way it looks in your Microsoft Word document or in your notes document, right? Or there's enhanced brand content. And if you're a person who's been selling on Amazon for a while or following Amazon, you know that this is a description that allows you to basically to insert images that explain your product better. And in most cases, enhanced brand content has shown to increase conversions. However, for some products, it just doesn't make sense because they just don't need a lot of explaining, right? There's other things you need to target. So about 75% of the listings that we create right now, are regular HTML descriptions because they are for third-party sellers who do not currently have their own licensed and registered brands, or they have a licensed and registered brand and they're not selling it, or they haven't contacted Amazon and applied for, enhanced brand content yet. So some additional things you're responsible for if you want to become an exceptional conversion artist, if you want to really skyrocket your conversions, which is, the number of people you convert to sales after they land on your Amazon product listing, right? You're going to want to study marketing. You're going to want to get into Facebook marketing and targeting, which we've talked a little bit about in terms of audience insights. You can use any of those audiences you found, where on the left-hand side when we typed in the search box, you can use any of those to target those people on Facebook. You can use the information you know about their age, their gender, what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy to target them on Facebook, right? You will want to do AdWords. You can do AdWords, and it's a really simple way to rank your product very quickly is to send them through a sales funnel that gives them a special coupon, and send that traffic from Facebook and AdWords through that sales funnel and then direct them to Amazon, and they get the code. They have that code for that coupon now. And then, you have a lot more traffic coming from outside sources, which actually boosts it increases your bestseller ranking, obviously, but then it also boosts your organic search engine results. So that's how a lot of people get to page 1 or 2. There's a little insider secret there. Sponsored ads, Amazon sponsored ads. These are really easy to run. So if you don't know how to run Amazon sponsored ads, please let me know. I will find you a video that shows you how to set them up. It's like 3 pages of, click and paste and copy and paste and click simple. Amazon Marketing Services, it's a little bit more complex. It allows you to target better. It also allows you to have that cool banner ad at the top of Amazon search results. But you have to have a product you have to have a product you're willing to give away to Amazon, so you don't get control of the listing. Amazon gets control of the listing. You're basically selling that product to Amazon, right? So they're going to give you a really simple listing. But once you have one product up like that, all of your other products currently, under the current rules, will qualify for Amazon Marketing Services, which means then you get to use their marketing services, which are more targeted and have better placement and have less competition, for all your other products that you don't give Amazon control over, right? You also need to know what kind of images to use and what kind of copy to use on those images. There are three main types of images. I'll just go into this now. There are three main types of images that you really need to use in your listing. You need to have you should maximize it and use all 8. Some people I think have told me they have 9, which is really awesome, but use all 8. And when you do that, what you want to do is you need to have at least one image that has a completely white background, obviously, that's very eye-catching and very polished for your main image. This is the image people see when they search for your product and your product shows up in the search results on Amazon. Then you need to have, pardon me, I'm going to try to get my voice back here. Then you need to have an image that shows people what the features and benefits are of your products. And that particular image needs to kind of show why each feature and benefit matters, right? So for example, let's say that you have a foam roller. You want to point out that if you have 3 different grids on that foam roller that provide 3 different massage experiences, you want to point that out on an image so people understand, right? Let's say that there are it's a 2-in-1 foam roller. You want to go and show on the image that the inside part of the foam roller is used for a more gentle massage and it's used for exercising, whereas the outside is used more for trigger point therapy, right? It's going to help with really extreme pain, with nerve pain, with sciatic pain, etc. So then you also need to use a comparative image. A comparative image is kind of like an infographic. So you're going to have an image that has on the left side, it'll say, other foam rollers, and on the right side, it'll say your foam roller. And down that, under the one on the left side, you're going to say, does not have, just one grid. And then you're going to say 3 grids for total pain management underneath yours, right? On the right-hand side. Then in the next column, you're going to say, twice the price for, twice the price. And you can go to the right side underneath yours and say best value. You never want to, so you just continue down the road comparing your product back and forth with another product or with the generalities of all the other products sold, right? Now, never, ever, ever point out a brand name when you're doing this. That will position you, that will put you at risk for a lawsuit, which they call libel. You're making accusations that you can't necessarily back up, or you're destroying somebody else's profits by making those accusations, even if you can back them up. So don't do that, right? And then, you also need to know, if you have enhanced brand content, how to choose the right images for that. And those images need to match the sales copy that's most important in your description. You can't have random images and then have sales copy that makes no sense underneath it. So for example, you don't want to put up a picture of a lollipop and then talk about, managing labor pain. Although maybe that does work. Maybe that's too much of a connection. I have no idea. You don't want to put up a picture of a lollipop if you're selling, pest repellers, right? So here are the basic rules. The basic rules are your title has to have 200 characters maximum. Many people, and we were talking about this in the last module, many sellers prefer to keep it under 120. If you go and you see that your target persona, your customer persona, your friend, uses like 75% mobile online for their shopping experience, then you want to mobile optimize, because that means your listing is going to show up higher in the search engine rankings. What does that mean? 120 characters. We always use 200 characters unless a client requests otherwise, right? So if your customer is really heavily mobile happy, they like to purchase from their cell phone, then you want to use 120 characters in your title. If they don't, if they use, a blend of PC and tablets and mobile phones, then you're going to want to maximize your ability to rank for specific keywords and get them to click by showcasing the benefits, features, and transformation in your title by using all 200 characters to the best of your ability. Okay, so these high converting titles, they follow a very specific pattern. And we're going to go over that in another module very shortly. So right now, just remember, sorry, 200 characters max, but 120 if you want it to mobile optimize your title. Okay, bullet points. We write with the assumption that every single listing has 5 total bullet points. A few listings out there still have 7, but the top 2 are not usually changeable without specifically writing Amazon and gaining their permission. Okay, so we're sticking with 5 for this particular course, right? Each bullet point can have up to 500 characters. However, your highest converting bullet points are usually between 250 and 360 characters. Okay, and those are characters defined including commas, exclamation points, semicolons, colons, spaces, everything, right? If you use HTML, like an HTML checkpoint at the beginning of your bullet point, or if you use it, to break up your bullet point, like let's say you have 2 different things you want to focus on and you want them to keep reading, that HTML counts as well. So it's not just the words and it's not just the characters, it's the total of everything. I'm sorry, it's not just the words, not just the letters, it's the total of everything, the space in between, any HTML you use, etc. So in your bullet points, you want to remember to point out the transformation the customer will experience. You're going to use these to define the surface level benefits to their life, and you're going to link them. And we go into incredible depth with this in an upcoming module. So at this point in time, your only job is to remember the rule, 5 bullet points, 250 to 360 characters each. If you have to go higher, you can go to 500. But Amazon has shown that under 360 characters usually ranks higher. So we kind of want to use that. Description, up to 2,000 characters, including HTML. Okay, we're going to go over what HTML is in just a little while when we actually write our description. But in this description, there are 2 things you can do. You can tell a story, and I'm going to teach you a very step-by-step simple way to tell a brand story, a product story, or a client story using an NLP nested loop story, which is where we transform them in their brain from the pain they're in now to using your product to the awesome outcome they have afterwards, that transformation, right? How their life looks like afterwards. We'll go more into depth in that later in this training. But in the meantime, you're just going to keep it to under 2,000 characters. That includes any, hard enters, any spaces, any punctuation, any HTML from where you're bolding, any HTML from, usually we just use bolding from bullet points, if you use bullet points, any of that. So when you write your listing, when you write your description, you're always going to want to go check it if you're writing an HTML description. And I use html-cleaner.com. I've been using it for years. It's reliable. It's free. You can clean your HTML that way, which means pull out any extra, code that's not necessary for it to look nice. And that way, when you plug it into that HTML cleaner, it looks nice on Amazon. It doesn't just look like a whole bunch of sentences jumbled together. Okay, on to enhanced brand content. This is becoming more popular by the day. This allows for images and more sales copy where you'd usually just see the words in the description, right? So, and this is only open to brands who have a registered trademark and that are brand registered with Amazon. Amazon, if you want to do that, Amazon can tell you how to do that. And we're not going to go into that in this training because it's not important to writing your actual listing. So let's go and check out an example, right? You see here, I can hit escape. Oh, and we just jumped down. Apologize here. I want to get back to where we were so I don't. Let's see here. Oh, we're at the very end there. So let's go to here. And let's go over to Amazon. And I'm assuming you all know how to get to Amazon.com or whichever country you're in, right? So if we go here and let's say we type in, we want a manifestation, sorry about that, manifestation gratitude planner. Let's see what pops up. So there's the Freedom Mastery Law of Attraction Goal Planner and Organizer, right? There is the Deluxe Law of Attraction Life Planner, Law of Attraction Success Planner. There's, let's say someone's looking to, have a better life next year or create a better life right now by taking specific steps, right? So my particular favorite is, so you saw how all these popped up, right? So this is the title, okay, right here. This, when you write your title, this is where they're going to see it initially. This is your initial image. And again, this doesn't have the completely white backgrounds. Give me a second here. Right, so let's go look at something else real quick. Let's do pest repeller plugin. Okay, so here's a better example. See how long this title is? So here's an example of a title. I'm not going to say it's a good or a bad example. It's an example of a title, right? Here's an example of the image, right? That's not the most polished image I've ever seen. I actually see a lot of pixelization in this. Whereas if we scroll down a little bit, sorry, about to grab a cough drop. We see an image like this. That's eye-catching. It has the lights right there. It shows that it has a night light on it. It shows a clear image. The natural shadow is underneath it. It shows it's an entire pack. It shows it's a 6-pack. And then we go over here and we see this, right? So this is the title that you'll see. And I want you to notice the price. This is the one that's most likely to get clicked on because it has the best image. It's the most poppy, right? They're selling it in a 6-pack, which is great. This one might get clicked on as well because of this. But this, by the way, is not actually legal on Amazon in most categories. So be careful if you're going to use anything besides your image. So you have a completely white background, right? This is your first main image. Okay. Then here's the title. We click on this, right? And we come to a regular listing. Now I'm assuming you've all purchased on Amazon. If for some reason you have not purchased on Amazon, you know, I am going to go over this. So right here, you see that they have a pretty clear image. Their image is large enough that when you hover over it, you can get an up close, and the up close looks beautiful and it's polished, right? So you want that one main image, right? At least that one main image. Let me see. Let's see here. These are more lifestyle images. So what they have done is instead of having one feature image like I was talking about, they have multiple feature images. So they talk about how it's non-toxic, standard wall plug-in, indoor use, environmentally friendly, safe for children and pets. Those are benefits, right? Coverage up to 1,200 square feet. So they've done multiple images here that talk about features and benefits. See how they've done that? They have not done a comparison, pardon me. They've not done a comparison image, which I would say, oh, you need a comparison image, right? So here's their title at the top, same title we just saw. How do I get off that? There we go. Then down here are their bullet points. Okay, so here's the bullet point section. Down here is their, where did it go? Oh, they're using an EBC listing. So this is product description, right? These guys are a registered brand. They have images in here. Okay, so see how it talks about what the product does on the image. And then it talks about, and I wasn't going to go into all this, but I'm going to do it now. It talks about, you know, like ultrasonic technology, right? This is the description portion. This is the image portion. This is what EBC brand content gives you. Okay, enhanced brand content, EBC gives you. Right, so this image right here is talking, it's showing the 1,200 square feet. And then it's saying 1 room, 1 unit, 1,200 square feet. Right? 360 degree all around de-insectization. Right? They don't really talk about that. It's talking about installation height, but they did mention installation height, that it should be 10 to 30 inches off the floor. Okay, so their image in their enhanced brand content talks about what their copy, it refers back to the copy, gives a visual image of what's in their sales copy, their words right here. Now, when I do EBC listings, I provide this guidance for clients because many clients are completely lost on how to do this. And that's fine because it's not their job to know how to do this. It's my job and, you know, your job to know how to do this. So that's one with an enhanced brand listing. Let's see if we can find one that is completely plain with a listing that is HTML. Let's go to something that looks like it's not from our planet. Okay. So again, you have the title, you have the images. How did they do it? Is this it? Let's see if this actually... Okay, so they compared their new one to their old one, right? But you would compare yours to other models, right? To other, you know, pest repellers, right? So, so give me a second here. So, see what I was saying? This is the comparison image I was talking about. So they've used that, which is great. Let's see what their description looks like if they have enhanced brand content. Nope. Look at their product description. Ultrasonic pest repeller. Not so good. So They're still getting conversions. They're still making sales, but their estimated revenue per month is 9,446 per month. That's revenue, not profit, by the way. They're selling for $26.99. Have a buy cost of $8.99. That's an approximated. You don't know that for sure. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to leave your description blank, right? Or just say, one little keyword. Let's go in this one and see if these guys have an HTML description. Let's see here. Okay, HTML product description. So see how this looks like it would in Microsoft Word if you were to type it into Microsoft Word and put these in all caps and put this in bold. If you don't convert your listing description to HTML, it is not going to look like this. This line would be directly after this line. It'll look like one big giant paragraph. This line will be directly after this line. This line will be directly after this line. So this breaks it up and makes it easy to use, easy to read. The human eye loves white space, which is why we break up these descriptions, and it's why we break up bullet points, right? So we'll use like a check mark here, and then maybe, start another one here to break up those bullet points. And that actually creates more space between this. And when it does that, or at least it gives the illusion it creates more space. So when it does that, it's easier for people to read. Instead of looking like they're reading one big giant paragraph, they're like, oh, that's simple to read. I think I'll do that. My brain's going to process this now. So that's really important. So again, title, images, bullet points. Okay, bullet points and description. This is an HTML description. Okay, that is everything. There is no homework for this module. So we're going to wrap it up, and I will see you in our next module. If I can get out of here. Where is the thing?